Good morning. This is Dustin Taylor. I am speaking on behalf of Divinity Virtue. I don't even know if that works, but sounds good. Sounds good. So, I haven't made a video in, I don't know, maybe a week or so. It's been a very interesting week. So, even just yesterday, I woke up really early, like 4 o'clock. I was like, you know what? Let's get back into the 4 o'clock gym routine. So, I went to the gym, rocked it out. It's a different when you go in the mornings because there's nobody there. So it's literally you just go your own time. It's peaceful. It's whether you can kind of just control yourself, be your own cheerleader. So I went to the gym. It was done by I don't even know 7:30 in the morning. Came home. I've been waiting for sorry, my hat's a little off. Whatever. Anyway, so came home and I was waiting for like one of my buddies to drop off some cards so I could go door knock for him, and he didn't show up. But it's like when your day's done, and it sounds so weird. Like everyone has 24 hours a day. There's people who are busier than busy and can't control their minds. There's people like me who I'm just trying to figure a way to keep busy so that I can control my mind. It, like I said, so my day was done at 7:30. By 11 in the afternoon, I had watched 3 hours of learning how to stock trade, ate food, watched some tarot just to see if my life is ever going to pick up. And you can say, well, you're watching tarot. Yes, it's a generic it's a generic message or a generic videos. It is what it is. But they do kind of line up with my life a little bit. And that's why I almost kind of think that life is just so planned out. Anyways, by 6:30, I literally messaged my sister and said, okay, I'm done with today. I'll see what tomorrow brings. And went to bed. So it's 6:30. It's 8:23 a.m. right now. I literally woke up, I don't know, 4 times during the night, but I gave up yesterday. It just sounds weird. I was just like, you know what? I'm done with today. Let's see what tomorrow brings. And it's just one of those weird changing, like, I don't know. Okay, when maybe I'm just getting old, but I can tell you when I was younger, it was like 6:30, 7 o'clock. Like, all right, go out and like get drunk or let's go do something or like it would be just one of those moments where you would always want to be out doing something instead of actually just saying, hey, you know what? Maybe I should just go to bed and get some sleep and get ready for whatever's going to come up tomorrow, the next day, or whenever. Sure. Apparently, sleep is better than fun at my age. So maybe I am just getting old. It is what it is. But yeah, it's just been a very interesting week. So I don't know if you guys have watched any of my other videos, but there's a guy who's my friend who ended up going back home. And we've talked over Facebook a little bit. And it's interesting to listen to how his mentality has changed. So, and I don't think he lies to me, but there's a lot of things that he has said and then done in the last few years that have kind of made me question things because so when he moved here, he had money in his bank account, but then ended up spending it quicker than need be. And so I can remember him for years, 2, 3 years, where if we went out and they drove me, I go buy them a drink just to say thank you, or make them dinner, or just lots. Okay, and like at the end of it, I probably spent anywhere from $500 to $1,000 just to help him out. So would you say, hey, like I have no problem giving, giving, giving. And if you're going to take, 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 fine. Because obviously I'm making the choice to give. But then wouldn't your conscience say, and the reason I'm saying this is when he moved back home, apparently he had investments here. Took out all of his investments before he was about to go home. And he had over $200,000. Okay? So if you had $200,000 worth of investments here, yet you before you left, you couldn't give me $1,000 saying like, "Hey, thank you for helping me out for 2 or 3 years." Okay. He also had a girlfriend, and this is interesting because I still know his girlfriend, and I'm going to ask her just out of the blue one day because I'm very curious. I just want to see if he spent lots of money on her, or from what I witnessed, every time he didn't have a job, but he would end up going buying pool cues or hats or 3D stuff, right? And I'm just thinking, you have no money, no job. You ask people for money. Like I remember him asking another friend of mine for money, and she spent 2 months trying to get back the money from him. And then when he gets back home, he comes from a rich family. So his parents have been spending money on him like there's no tomorrow. And then he's got this mentality of saying like, oh, it's like he went from like being a poor peasant boy here in Canada to going, oh, I got nothing. Take care of me. Take care of me. Now watch this. It's the same mentality, but it was a victim mentality here because he didn't have access to those funds. But now when he went back home, doesn't have to have those funds anymore. His parents pay for everything, and I'm just thinking, okay, so you literally just went back in life to living with your parents because they'll pay for everything. Okay, like I get it, but I don't get it because then, like, I just don't know. And the other thing is, he made this comment. He goes, it's all about the white man. And you guys are crying foul and blah blah blah. And I'm just thinking, how racist is this conversation going to get? And I'm thinking, it's not the white man who's crying. I can tell you right now, I know so many people of so many different cultures that are not living as comfortable as they are. I can tell you my mom, who's been like medically, she was from her doctor, like she was told to like retire and everything. So she was medically forced to retire. And I know how much money she has. And even though she makes good money, she's not living like how she used to live. And then he goes, well, you guys just don't know how to handle us foreigners. And I'm thinking, I don't know why we have to handle you foreigners. The difference is Canada has promised you guys a greater future over here, yada yada yada. They open up the university doors to foreigners. I think it was like, don't hold me on these numbers. Oh, and that's another thing. I've gone through a lot of my other videos. I do say a lot of things that are probably not correct, but I do not have the knowledge, which I do have a lot of time. So now I'm really thinking maybe I should start learning how to edit videos and keep them like as legit as I can, try and make them professional. Because I was thinking like yesterday, I was watching this stock trading video, and it was teaching you like the candlesticks, the highs, the lows, the pullbacks, the double highs, the double lows, um, different ways to trade. And in his video, like you can see when he switches off and had to make a edit clip or a edit change or something like that. And at the end of his video, he goes, I'm absolutely tired. He goes, I've been making this video for about 8.5 hours now. and the video was only like an hour and 17 or hour and 20 minutes long. Okay, so I'm thinking, wow, this guy is got some perfection, and he's trying to show a video on stock trading, so he really wants to be the best. Let's say like the top 99%, right? Like he wants to make it so that his video, if there's any errors that he missed, it's within 1%, which is good on him. He put in a lot of time. The video had 21 million views, so good on him. Like it makes sense that if you're that big, you've got a lot of followers, you're going to make sure that your videos and everything are professional. And I get that. So maybe that's where I should start learning as well, because I've had to look sorry about that. I've had to look at like when I went back and forth with Africa about the business license, and they said you can't be a healthcare consultant without having some sort of professional designation behind your name. And I get it, because then I'm typically giving advice on health without any designation behind my name. I get it. So it's fair. It makes sense because there's already a lot of fake news and a lot of fake information out there. So, and even with some of my videos, I know some of the numbers are off, or some of the wording's off, or even some of the things that I might say might be off. But I get it. So I get it. So I went back and forth, and when you think about how everyone either has to get their hands dirty, because there's so many rules in this world, right? I'm really trying to show how to build a brand, build a corporation, and do everything legit. So I was going back and forth, and I said, okay, why am I trying to change my business? And this sounds really weird, because I've noticed that it's not that you want to break the rules. It just seems that everyone, now that I'm learning this, because I'm doing it myself, right? I think everyone essentially doesn't want to break the rules, but wants to find the loopholes or a way to get around the rule, so that if they do get their hands slapped, they can say, well, show me in the rules, or I was just doing what worked best, not trying to hurt anyone, right? So I get it when you're trying to. So I've thought about this, and I go, okay, so you won't give me a business license as a healthcare professional. Fine. I only have 5 subscribers on YouTube, I think. 5, maybe 6. I don't know. Haven't checked. So what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to call myself a online content creator. And my business, even though I want it based on health and wellness, I am now a life coach who will help you focus on career paths, and or yeah, okay. So I'm a life coach who focuses on career paths, who also does online content creation, and I have to get to a point, and I think this is where I'm going to have to learn sales funnels or some sort of marketing to move this a little bit forward, where I'm going to start setting up Zoom meetings. So I'm going to set it up so that when you go through my website, I'm going to say, if you set apart 4 hours of your day, the first hour will be on habits, the second hour will be on triggers, third hour will be on career paths and life goals. Okay. So my thing is I'm going to set it up so that at each time I present, there'll be a group of 25 people who will pay for the whole entire thing. And instead of me doing individual health assessments, trying to show people if you have bad triggers, what we can do to go a different way. Or if you have bad habits, instead of smoking cigarettes, like what's this, right? So instead of training your mind to always have that cigarette to go to your mouth or the vape or whatever your temptation is, what if you changed it with an apple or something? It sounds really weird, but it's the motion, right? So if you get your mind going, oh well, this motion's already here, why don't you have an apple instead of a cigarette, right? Like you're not changing the habits for a better habit. Sure, you might eat a lot more apples, but you're probably going to be healthier if we really want to get down to it. So, and what I'm thinking is when people, once I get 25 people signed up, I'll say, hey, this is the time slot for, I don't know, today's what, March 14th? We'll say on March 21st, 25 people from 5 p.m. till 9 p.m. This is the process that I'll be teaching you. I will go through, I will go and do all of my questionnaires, answer them the best I can, and then show how I changed my ways and fixed my habits, triggers, and turned my life around into trying to focusing on building a brand and a corporation. Right? So at least this way, not only am I talking the talk, but I'm walking the walk. My logic is if I do this in the right way, now I'm not a health and wellness company. I'm just an online creator who has given advice on how my health and wellness journey has gone, showing you guys templates of what may have worked for me that may work for you. And I'm not showing you any ways of me being like a doctor, a physician, anything that has to be licensed or professional. I'm essentially giving you guys the formulas, just a way to look at almost every different scenario. I'll show you how I answered my questions, which I have no problem showing who I am because I'm really trying to change who I was to become the best version I am now. I'm trying every day to be better and better and better. And I think that's the goal, right? So I think that's what I'm going to do because that way I can get away. Yeah, I'm trying to go around the rules, but I'm trying not to break the rules, and I'm trying to still be the most legit I can be. On the next part, I'm thinking, it's funny I say that because so on this weekend, this last weekend, my sister, and it's interesting because I watch a lot of situations play out, and the reason I say it like this is because I believe in life. There's going to be little key moments in your life that you should try to listen to. And the reason I'm saying this is my sister goes, oh, what time do you normally go to the bar at? And I said, I don't know, 11:15, somewhere around there. And she goes, okay, well, I'm in Lethbridge tonight. Let's go out. I'm thinking, well, I wasn't really planning on going to the bar tonight. And then I was like, hold on, why are you in Lethbridge? And she goes, I just finished work and then she goes, I just took a drive and somehow I ended up in Coaldale and I had to come through Lethbridge to go back home. And I was thinking, all right. So I take her out. And she goes, where are we going? So we only have one club in Lethbridge, which is like literally the one bar. It's two bars beside each other. It's a country bar and then like a dance bar. So the dance bar is a little bit younger, and then the country bar you obviously get boys and whatnot. So I take her there, and she goes, "This is really weird." She goes, "I have not been in a nightclub since 10, 15 years ago," and I'm thinking, "Yeah, okay." and she kind of gets to see how I am as a person. I have a lot of attention, so it's interesting to me and her be talking, and then somebody come through and talk, and me and her. It's interesting because we both grew up. She grew up with my dad, and I grew up with my mom. So we never grew up together. And this was a very interesting fact of it, kind of showing how people's lives run together. And the reason I'm saying this is because she comes from where my dad, who used to be in the drug game, do the drug game, live that lifestyle. And I asked her one time, I said, why did you ever get into that lifestyle? She said, I watched my family. And she goes, it looked fun. So she got into that lifestyle. And I said, what was your drug of choice? She goes, the Coke. She goes, I love the Coke. I'm thinking, this is ever interesting. So my dad's side, probably huge Coke heads, just a lot of interesting characteristics. My mom's side, my mom comes from that family, but my mom really tried hard to break into the corporate world and change the path of life for me. So she never ever did Coke in front of me. I don't even know if she's ever done Coke. So, but she used to drink lots and smoke pot. So I grew up watching drinking and smoking pot, going, all right, like that seems normal. So that was the way I learned life. Now, the interesting part is that when we go out and I tell her this, I go, here's what's going to happen. I've been praying hard for my best friend. I said this to my sister and I said, I really hope you get to meet my best friend tonight. And she goes, why is that? And I go, because where I'm at in my stage of life, I finally figured out all of my paradigms, which means that that twin flame has to come back. But I'd rather have the best friend at least close enough to me that when I make that decision and say, hey, you played too many games. You know what? Like my twin flame is everything that me and my sister's past used to be. And I'm thinking, you only fall in love with what you grew up and knew. Sounds bad, but it's true. So, sure enough, we go out to the bar and I turn around and there's my best friend. And she just gives me the nicest little compliments. She goes, now there's a guy who's really nicely dressed. She comes up, gives me the biggest hug in the world. She's just so beautiful. Okay. Like her passion is beautiful. Her heart is beautiful. Her soul is beautiful. Even the way she looks, she's beautiful. She's a very beautiful young lady. She's beautiful. She's beautiful. But I know she's a little bit younger, so I have to let her grow a little bit more. And the reason I'm saying that is because I'm not crossing any boundaries with anyone whatsoever. I've let them all know that, hey, I'm 39 years old. I'm trying to start up a company. I'm trying to get a six pack. And I'm looking for a future wife. I'm not going to take anyone home. I'm not going to cross any boundaries. But if you want to talk and you want to get to know each other, let's do it that way. Let's build it up as a friendship first and then see where life goes. Okay? So I've talked to her for 3 years, 4 years, my best friend. Almost 4 years now. It's coming up to it. And I'm thinking, I've seen her highs and lows. I've watched guys just treat her like shit, use her, abuse her, whatever. And I'm just thinking, isn't that ever interesting that the people who have the biggest hearts get used the most? And that's the worst part because I'm thinking their hearts are so big that they just take it. They take the abuse, they take the pain. Anyways, so yeah, so she gave me a nice big hug and I just said, hey, I really miss you. I hope everything's doing okay. And just the way she looks at my eyes, she's just a beautiful soul. So, anyways, we didn't meet the twin flame, which is interesting because I know that this conversation has to come up. And that will be the conversation where she'll go, okay, I've gone through all of my dating stages. The dating world sucks. The dating world does suck. The reason the dating world sucks is because you're in the dating world. You're not just focusing on one person and seeing how far that journey goes. You go, oh, the grass is greener over here. bounce. Grass is greener over here, bounce. No, maybe you need to look at yourself and go, all right, the reason this relationship didn't work out because of this. I did this. This person did this. This is how I felt. This is how he felt, etc. Whatever. If you can kind of try to figure out the story of why both parties feel the same way or don't feel the same way, and then look at yourself, those are the ways to learn to grow. Learning lessons, right? If you always think like the grass is greener, okay, cool. Grass is always greener somewhere, but grass is always the greenest where you water it. So if you focus most of your attention on what you can do, so like I said, this next year, actually I didn't say this, but my last year, for the first 8 months of the year, my life was wake up, work out, study my CFA, and then do a job to pay off bills. Okay? This year, right now, it's March 14th. I'm literally going to finish this video, go to the gym, study stocks, read some tarot, see what I can do in my business because I think it's pretty much closely done. I'm not seeing anything that I can change, and I don't think I'll be getting any cards today. So it'll be the weekend that I'll be working, and then my day's done. Like what a what a boring day. Like it just seems like my life is Groundhog's Day. Wake up, repeat, and hope for something different. But I know that things are changing, and I know that it's all on divine timing. So I don't know. I just think a lot of people who probably go through these situations, I don't know. I think everyone wants it now, and I'm part of that generation where I want everything now. But then I'm also learning if I give up everything for the now, I have the best ending possible. And that's the only thing that keeps me going is knowing that everything I'm giving up now, it comes back bigger and 100 times more. I know this. I just don't know how to get to it. I can't tell you guys this, but like when you know that your life is set up, that you're gonna have a beautiful blonde who's your best friend, you eventually move to Australia, that all you end up doing is working out and just hanging out on beaches. How do you make money? That means I must have come up with a business idea that made me enough money that either generates me cash every day or that I'm allowed to that I free up a lot more of my time where I when I do work, I make more money than when I don't work, right? If that makes sense. That's the only way I can see two different and I should talk to the medium. I haven't seen her I only see her once every few months. She hates coming out because she tells me, she goes, I have to drink and do drugs when I leave my house. And I go, really? She goes, yeah, I see creepy stuff. She goes, like, she tells me that she saw a kid, a demonic kid who scared the shit out of her, attached to me for 6 months. And that's the reason she wouldn't come around me. She goes, that kid was trying to bring you down. I was thinking, yeah, no shit. He's done a really good job. And the worst part is, I have no friends. So he was probably my only friend, too. Like, great. My only friend tries to bring me down. That just sounds like real life, isn't it? Every time you think about that, who brings you down the first? Your real friends, your family, the people closest to you, right? So I don't know. Maybe that kid was from the past. He's not here now. I hope. I hope. I don't know. I don't. I'm not in tune to be able to see spirits. I can see things out of the sides of my eyes, and I know that's probably spirits and ghosts. If you get stuff moving out of the side of your eyes and there's nobody around you, or if you see something real quick, it's probably you're catching a ghost or a spirit of some sort. You really are. Your eyes are that quick. It's just you're not picking up what it is. It could be a light infraction. It could be. And like in one of my other videos, I can remember it felt like somebody was touching my leg. And it was like for 20 minutes. And keep remember looking down. I was like, I could see my leg hairs moving. I'm thinking, is that ever crazy? And I even said it in one of the videos. And you know, I just thought about it. I was like, what if those are like microorganisms? I don't even know what the heck a microorganism is, But I'm assuming it's so small, it's something I can't see that they're all around. Science has proven it. So maybe it wasn't a ghost or a spirit or something touching my leg. Maybe it was a microorganism stuck in my hair. And once I scratched it, it didn't come back. I don't know. There's always a reason and explanation for something. It's just, I guess, how you look at things and how you try to analyze things. So, yeah. Anyways, at the end of the night, um, I told my sister, I was like, it's daylight savings time. And she goes, what do you mean? I go, yeah, at like 2 in the morning, it jumps to 3. So if you have to work at 8 in the morning and you have to drive an hour and a half, almost 2 hours to get back, I said, you're going to get home at like 5:30 in the morning and then have to be at work for 8. You're going to be bagged. She goes, no. So then she Googles it real quick and sure enough, I was right. She goes, okay, we have to go now. So we left early, left around 1 o'clock or so. And I said, hey, like, I just want to go say goodbye to my friend. So I go up to her. I didn't see her in the one bar and went to the other bar. Saw her. She was just there with her and her girlfriend and I think her girlfriend's boyfriend, watching people country dance, line dance, all that stuff. So I go up and I just go, hey, like I'm out. It's daylight savings time. My sister needs to go home. I'm so glad I got to see you. I hope everything's treating you good. She just hugged me for the biggest like minute or two. Just gave me a kiss on the cheek. I was just like, this girl just melts my heart. And I'm just thinking, I'll give her my heart, but she also has to step up. I need her to. I think, and I get it. Like if you like someone, you're gonna kind of keep it to yourself. So I do try to send her a lot of. And I even asked her. I said, I send you lots of messages. She goes, yeah, but your messages always make me feel so sad. And I was like, what? No, I don't want to be that guy. Like all the messages I send are like nice little memes or of dogs and babies and just cute stuff. And she, or like even just like the messages I send is just it's from the heart saying like, hey, I hope you have a really great day or happy birthday or just messages here and there just to let her know that like, hey, I do think about you. I do care for you. And she goes, it's just that it makes me feel like I'm not good enough for you. And I'm thinking, whoa, don't feel that way. Like, just be happy because I'm going to tell you everything, whether you believe it or not. If me and you are meant to be together, everything I'm doing every day is to make sure that when that time happens, if it's not you, somebody's going to get a really good catch from me. And I'm going to tell you, like, the fact that I go to the gym every day, I woke up today and my stomach's getting smaller. And now but that's the thing is, that's how far I am from a six pack. Actually, when I sit down, this is going to kind of suck because whoever that Barbie guy is, oh man, the blonde hair guy, chiseled, good looking. His wife is Eva Mendes. It's Ryan something, I think. I just can't remember, but he's a good looking guy. Okay, it's not Ryan Reynolds. It's sorry, I guess I forgot his name. But whoever that guy is, whoever's married to Eva Mendes, or yeah, um, the Barbie guy. Like he's chiseled. He looks good. He's absolutely chiseled. But I've seen a picture of him like sitting down, and he still has abs. And I'm thinking, wow, like you are absolutely abs and absolutely. Huh, put that one together. That was funny. No, like he's just such in great shape. I'm just thinking like, you don't even have like the stomach skin flaps when you sit down. And I'm thinking like, I sit down now. Yeah, it's like the fat just like plops together. It's like, I'm like, oh, okay. But when I stand up, I look leaner, and I'm thinking, okay, so I got lots of fat still to lose. That's fine. You know what? That's going to be the journey, right? I'm going to have it. I'll be very close by June, very. But you know what? You can't control anything in this life. Can't control getting a six pack. Can't control what it'll look like. can't control your job. You can't control anything. It's just live life and experience the emotions. But yeah, you know, the fact that my stomach fat's getting smaller and it's very small. It's crazy. I can't. I, I've never been this skinny, and I still got 20 more pounds to go, which is just baffling. Like I take 20 pounds off me right now. I'm probably 205. Yeah, 185, maybe 180, somewhere right in that range. 180, 185 pounds. At 6 feet tall, I will be ripped, chiseled, and I can't ever go back to fat because at the end of the day, it's both hard. Whether you're fat or you're skinny, it's both hard. Just choose your hardness. Which one do you want more? Do you want to look aesthetically good and be sweating it out in the gym, or do you want to be just good and sweating because you have the meat sweats? I don't know. Choose your hardness. Two different ways. And I've thought about this because I it's coming up to like it's springtime. Starting to watch a lot more people going out to patios. I'm starting to watch like just a lot more activity, and I'm thinking I can't even go back to that lifestyle. It's like I don't know. I can't really explain it. But so another thing is, so I haven't ate meat in a while, and then this one lady at the gym, she's an older lady. She's so loving. Like she just knows that I've been going through a hard time. She doesn't have much money, but she'll buy me a steak or she'll buy me some ground beef. Just she just wants to fat me up. I think that's what it is. Because me and her have this little competition to see who's going to get a 6 pack by June 1st. And she goes, I go, you're just doing this to fat me up so that you win. And she goes, no. I'm like, okay, there's got to be some kind of hidden motive, but whatever. If not, she's just a loving soul that knows that I'm going through a hard time. So, anyway, she bought me some ground beef and a steak, and so I ate the ground beef, and I looked at like how many calories there are, and I was like, whoa. So I get it now. Like when people, and I never fully went into this, but I've the reason I changed my diet more of a pescatarian Mediterranean diet was because when you look at all the 100 century blue zones, I think they're called, it's the places in the world where the people have lived to 100. What they eat, their lifestyle, their mentality, stuff like that. And I really want to follow that. And the reason I'm saying that is because the fact that a psychic and a medium both told me that, like, once I knew about the twin flame and I didn't realize that there was a third part to the story, that you give up the twin flame, you get a soulmate, someone who's much more aligned to your values and everything. So you're either giving up the chariot of love, or as in the tarot world, they call it the wheel of fortune. So that means you give up the guarantees for whatever's bigger and better and whatever you can produce in your mind. That's what it is. That's what this world is. Once you figure out, hey, the world's already planned out. You're already going to meet your wife, but you have to listen to those little intuitions in your mind. Like the fact that my sister said, like, hey, let's go out. I was like, well, I wasn't planning on it, but it's been 3 weeks. Why not? Let's go out. Why did I go out? My best friend never goes out. I barely see her. Sure enough, I go out the same night that my sister says, let's go out. I see my best friend and I go, perfect. Like it's all timed out. It's just when I can tell you the last few years that if my cousin goes, oh, are you going out tonight? I go, no, I wasn't. But now that you've asked me that, and I go, why did you ask that? He goes, well, you always go on the weekend. I go, not always. Like I try to take off some weekends. I was like, but now that you said that, maybe I should. So I'm starting to listen to people when they throw little things out there, and I go, if why are they throwing it out there? That's why I'm saying. I'm thinking, okay, we don't normally have these conversations, or this doesn't normally happen. I should just go with it. And when you just go with it, you get a lot of interesting like situations that just line up. Don't know, can't explain it, but that's why I believe that everything's already planned out. Your major arcanas are already planned out. wherever you're going to work is already going to be planned out. It just depends on what timeline, what path you've chosen. So if you're given two different paths and one will lead to a different timeline, your economies are already set out in that next timeline. It's just once you take that step into that path, that's the path that you're going for a while. That path goes until it ends. That's that's the game of life. I'm almost sure of it. And I could be 100% wrong, but can't tell me two people who see the ending of my life and know that I'm going to be successful with a beautiful blonde as my best friend who's going to give me the world and I'm going to give her the world. And we're all eventually going to live in Australia. It doesn't happen that way. It just doesn't. And the only reason that Africa is coming up, like this whole, I went on 2 job interviews on Monday, and I think they were combined maybe 6 minutes, 7 minutes for the both of them. And it was just, oh, do you have knowledge of this? Yes. Well, not working knowledge, but I have knowledge of it. Oh, okay. Do you have any understanding about our business? Yes. Okay. Well, we got 85 other interviews. We'll give you a call. I'm thinking, so you couldn't have just asked me all of this over the phone, both companies? And then I'm working for my buddy, thinking, okay, so like, what am I doing here? Like, I just kind of wish that God, Jesus, my soul, spirit guides, guardian angels, ancestors would quit giving me all these little twigs off the path and just show me, stay on this path. This is your next step. This is what's going to happen. And you can say, why do you want to know what's going to happen next? Because the fact that I gave up yesterday and literally just said, all right, today's done. Let's move on to tomorrow. I gave up. It's not that I gave up. I just said, I've watched 3, 4 hours of tarot, watched 3, 4 hours of how to stock trade. Didn't make any money. Worked out, ate clean. Now I have to go get groceries, spend money that I didn't make yesterday. And that's the other thing. Bitcoin's going up huge. If you get in on this, and if you listen to this video before next year, Bitcoin will get to 144,000 by August of next year. Just humor me. We're at 74,000 right now. So that's double, double. So if you put in $10,000 now, you'll be at $20,000 by next August. Almost guaranteed. Almost guaranteed. Anyways, all I know is that everything I do is to be the best version I can be. I want that six pack because it's something that you can't take away from me. When you start looking at yourself in the mirror, like I'm lean, but I can see my faults. I'm going to tell you right now. My legs chiseled, my back chiseled, my chest chiseled, my shoulders, arms, face, all definition. But then once you get to the stomach, man, even though it's smaller stomach, there's still that stomach fat that just ugh looks gross. Then you got the inner leg chub, and that takes forever. You know how long that stuff takes to like just disappear? Like I'd love to have just like no leg chub, no stomach fat, and no fat below my stomach, if you know what I mean there. And that's all I have left. And I'm thinking, if that's 20 pounds of fat, like that's shit. That, that could be a long time. That could be 6 months. It could be a year. I'm really hoping by June, and that's because I'm not on supplements. I haven't cut down my calories yet. I'm on a lean bulk until April 2nd. I got 2 more weeks, and then my diet changes a little bit. I drop out about 500 to 1,000 calories, and then I'm at zero. I play a hard game, and this is the reason I do this because if you really want that summer body, you gotta be so disciplined for 2 months. So disciplined, it's crazy. Because then once you get into the summer, you can kind of relax a little bit, just because you'll maintain that body for the rest of the summer. But I'm going to tell you, for that 2 months up to it, if I burn 3,000 calories, I'm only going to eat 3,000 calories. And it's going to be the cleanest calories I can eat. I'll take out the cheese, I'll take out the milk. Okay? So those are done. So it'll be just fruits, vegetables, oatmeal, yogurt, tea, protein bars and a protein shake, like everything else is gone. So you do that for 2 months. So say, like I'm saying, I burn 3,000 at the gym. I eat 3,000. You're gonna go, hold up. You could be eating another 3,000 calories. I could. But the reason I'm doing this is because once you cut it off at that number, and then this is extreme. Do not listen to me if you're not willing to go to extremes, because this is literally how bodybuilders do it. And I know lots of people who are bodybuilders, and I've watched them. And they're once they get into their competition cycles, they're not even drinking water. They're getting their water from cucumbers and celery. I'm telling you, they'll eat like 1,000 cucumbers and celery a week, and that's their water. Their protein, they don't even put it into like a shake or anything. They'll put it onto whatever they're eating and eat it that way. Like when I say that they're trying to lean out, they're taking out all the water that they can take out. They're burning off all the fat that they can burn off. And these guys, they work out hard and they eat lots. Okay, you're eating lots. You're eating 10 to 12 pounds of just healthy stuff. You're constantly eating, but you gotta think there's such low dense calorie foods that you gotta eat so much of it to maintain what you've worked off. So the reason I'm doing it at like a 3,000 or whatever I burn is what I can eat. It's because I know I got about 20 to 25 pounds worth of fat, and every pound of fat is about 3,500 calories. I don't think me just sitting around, just doing my normal day, I burn 3,500 calories. I don't think so. I don't know the exact number on that, but I think it's probably around that 2,500 mark. So that means every day I should be 2,500 calories, 2,000 to 2,500 calories below my daily intake. Okay. But I got enough fat, 25 pounds of fat. So 3,500 times 20, that's 70,000 calories I need to burn in 2 months. How do you burn 70,000 calories? Because you got to think when you eat and you get fat, all those calories above the zero is where you'll gain weight. So, by my logic, everything that has to be balanced in this world means that if I was 70,000 calories above zero, I now need to be 70,000 calories below zero to get back to even. That's my logic, right? For everything. If you were to do cocaine or, oh, and that's another thing. We went to the bar. A lot of people come up and told my sister and I about their cocaine. And I just kind of go, man, you guys know this is a bad game to get into. And I'm thinking, me and her both come from this world. And I even asked her, I said, how come you did coke? And she goes, honestly, I like the taste of it. I said, oh, the nose drip. She goes, you know about that? I'm like, well, I hang out with everyone. I'm like, I know what they're up to. Like, I don't care if they do it, but I get it. So, anyways, tough game. Don't go into it. I'm telling you, might be a fun world. You might think it's fun. Once you get onto that rock, it starts rolling and it doesn't stop ever, ever. Anyways, but yeah, I also remember asking my sister. I said, "Are you okay with like that? Like knowing that like that was your past?" She goes, "I have to be." She goes, "That was the devil inside of me." She goes, "I know if I were to do this, this, or this, that I'm probably going to end up going back to that way." And I go, "So you're comfortable with your past?" She goes, "I have to be." She goes, "It's my past. It's a learning lesson." Right now, she goes, "I'd rather just be who I am, and I don't need to chase the highs and lows." I'm just thinking, is that ever interesting? And I don't know. Maybe that's the thing is like the world's got everyone so fast that you're just chasing, 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 chasing instead of just realizing this is a long journey. And even the thing with my buddy who's he's just his ego's gotten very big since he got back home. And I'm just thinking, it's a fake ego, bud. You still need to own up to your mistakes, own up to why people didn't like you here, own up to why you couldn't work here. There's still a lot of things that you have to do before you can fully move on. Like you can always say, "Oh, others this or they're racist there," and I'm going, Yeah, bud. I do live in a racist country. Like, this is a very racist country, but I was never racist to you. I never judged you for anything other than just treat me good and with respect. And I said, "You've seen me get my ass handed to me by everyone in the city." He goes, "Yeah, people don't respect you there." And I go, "That's fine. People aren't going to respect me everywhere. But at the end of the day, only person I should care about is me. Focus on me. Make sure that I do everything the best for me, my future family, and try not to hurt anyone else in the process because we all have a journey. Could be harder, could be easier. Some people are going through a lot of stuff. Like, I know all my paradigms. Like I said, spiritual awakening, sobriety, weight loss journey. I'm getting rid of my family. Twin flame. I know that I'm going to marry my best friend. I know that I eventually am a successful business owner. I don't even know what business I'm going into. Essentially, right now, I'm just an online content creator that will go live or will set up Zoom meetings once a week for 25 people. That's going to be 4 hours long. I'm going to give you guys my questionnaires. If you sign up, we're going to work through it together. We're going to talk through it at the end of every hour, after every session. And then by the end of it, you're going to have a whole on template of your habits, your triggers, your life goals. And you don't even have to tell me about it. You just have to write all the stuff down yourself. And I'll tell you, hey, this is where the areas that you should focus on. And we go that way. This way, I'm not a health and wellness professional or consultant. I'm just somebody who's a life consultant of myself. And you can take my plan that helped me get away from drinking, sex, doing shady shit. I still hang out with shady people. That whatever. I come from the hood. I'm a hood rat. You know what? I'm a hood rat with 2 degrees and 13 designations, with clean hands. Go figure. I'm the best hood rat you could ever make. And speaking of hood, I live in the hood. Two crack houses, like, I don't know, 5 houses away from me. Okay. And I'm thinking, this neighborhood, there's a lot of hustlers in this neighborhood. And this one guy, he must be renting, or I don't know what he's doing, but I've seen him for the last week, and he brings different cars to the back alley garage, right beside a crack house. Actually, that's the convenient part. And he's washing cars, and I'm thinking, this guy's got a good side hustle. So he bought a power washer. He cleans the cars at his house, so he's not paying for a business. Cleans the cars for an hour, goes gets drops it off, comes back and gets a new car. Every hour, it's a different car. I don't know how much money he's making. Say he's making $50 an hour, $60 an hour to wash a car, whatever it is. He's making $500 a day, $15,000 a month if you work every day. That's a pretty good hustle. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think he's paying tax because, first off, you're not a licensed business. Second, you're doing work just at your house, which it is what it is. Good hustling, good hustle. So I'm clearly, there are ways to make money if you're willing to work, and maybe I'm just lazy, to be honest. I, I see how hard that he's working to like clean these cars. I'm just thinking like for my own stuff, learn how to stock trade, go long term for Bitcoin and some of those things. You want to make quick cash, you do all the other 10,000 pump and dump coins, get in quick, get out. It's just take a green and get out. That's all it is. So there's two different mentalities there. And then once I get this company going, I will do only Zoom meetings. I will not show any healthcare expertise. I will just show what I did for me, and you can say, hey, that may work for me or they may not. As far as another thing, since I'm looking at it right now, I had to apply for a business grant and whatnot, and she didn't give me the information. The other company's not giving me the information. I'm just thinking, man, I can't get things lined up. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to pay for the business license. like I said, as an online creator. And then I'm going to send the license receipt and everything to the sponsors that I know. And I'm just going to apply and say, hey, I already paid for it. If you want to refund me the $2,000, great. If not, I'm still going to pay for it myself. Life lesson, on to the next. So there's always the thing. Just try to find your ways. And honestly, it was a long video, 56 minutes. My name is Dustin Taylor. This is Divinity Virtue. Sorry if I look bad this morning. I just woke up and came on here. Um, you know, thank you for everything that this world has given me, the highs, the lows, my beautiful blonde best friend. I will eventually take care of you. Just trust me, everything I'm doing is for us. And if it's not me and you, whoever ends up getting me, I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna come into a better world than you think you ever knew. So that being said, this is Divinity Virtue. Everything happens on divine timing. Try to be the best you can be. Try to be 1% better every day. Try to help everyone out so that they can grow and succeed. Take your losses before you become the boss. Just have a good weekend and stay safe and just focus on yourself, your goals, and try to be the best version you can be. As I tell people, I'm just trying to be the best nobody that is alive. That being said, once again, this is Dustin Taylor, Divinity Virtue. God bless. Thank you. Amen. Have a great day.